Alright, I have procrastinated and procrastinated, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, I'm Stray Dog. This is Stray Dog's Tech, where I build computers and sell them and review miscellaneous tech. And right now, we are sitting kind of stagnant. Like, we're letting stuff build up for this huge tech unboxing, and I only have one computer built that's about to get listed. So we need to get on the ball, unbox all this stuff, and tell you all my future plans, because I have about 6 or 7 more builds coming up, which a lot of this stuff pertains to those builds. One really big build coming up that's going to be a fun one is a white and orange themed build. It was my wife's idea, who shows no involvement in tech, and I really wanted to do that build just to entertain her, if nothing else. Because for some reason, she thinks white and orange is going to be the selling magic color theme. I don't know. But let's just jump right into it. Speaking of my wife, there's going to be a couple of these items. I have no idea which ones, that are going to be a salt and pepper shaker or a can opener and a big black air purifier. Thought I was going to say something else there, didn't you? That's actually not my wife. That's for in here. And guys, air purifiers are really, really good to keep in your setup. Like, I think that should be part of your setup, just like getting your CPU, GPU, whatever, just like cable extensions. They're not necessary, but they make the build look nice. An air purifier is not necessary, but it makes you breathe nice, as well as your computer, and helps with the whole dust thing. I actually already have one over there in the corner, but I want one to incorporate onto my desk, where I can kind of catch stuff before it enters my filters in my computer. Alright, I've got a bunch of fans. I'm kind of have mixed feelings about Thermalright right now. They've got a lot of great products for really great prices, but on this build right here, the 92 millimeter fans are supposed to be addressable RGB, and I had to wait on that second fan because they both came in, the boxes looked the exact same, everything, the exact same, but one of the fans had a Molex connector, and that was it. So you couldn't control the lighting at all. I mean, I'm fairly new to PC building. I've only been in it for a few years now, so I've never really used Molex on anything. That was kind of already obsolete and outdated by the time I started building, so that wasn't going to work, not being able to control the lights. So I ordered another one and just kind of took the gamble that it wasn't going to be the same thing. But I got the right fan. It did have the right connector. We're up and running. We'll talk about that build in a minute, but these are going to be for the white and orange build, I think. I kind of like the idea of just having a little mini micro center going at all times, where whenever I go to do a build, I can just walk over to my shelf or under my desk, as you see here, and pick out what parts I want to do for the build. I mean, none of this is sponsored, by the way. All of my opinions are my opinions. They have not been bought. I have no brand deals, no sponsors, no ads. So I am sinking a lot of money into all my stuff, hoping it will return when I flip PCs. But honestly, even if I make 50 bucks on a build, it's just a hobby, I get to play with new hardware or old hardware. It's kind of the fun thing about being fairly new to PC, is even the older stuff is new to you, So these fans are like 10 bucks for a 3-pack. Actually, these are singles that I paid $7 each for. So in other words, like after tax and everything, I got like 25 bucks and 3 fans. I'm just gonna start a little trash pile down here. We got a lot of stuff to unbox, so at this rate, with me rambling, this is it's gonna take a while. Let's see. Okay. Certain things like Wi-Fi adapters, and these are USB 2.0 to Type E or Type C connectors. So if you have an older motherboard that doesn't have a connector for your Type C, because almost all modern cases have Type C now, these little connectors are like $5 to $8. There's no reason to, like, I feel the same way about these as I do IO shields. Like, you can find the IO shield for that motherboard, or like a little retrofit one, for pretty cheap. There's no reason to sell a PC that has no IO shield, even if it's a budget build in my eyes. If it's something that costs 5 or 10 bucks, like, protect your reputation as a builder. Spend the 5 or 10 bucks. Don't have somebody out here rocking a PC that looks really great but has no IO shield or no Type C. This is just an adapter. It's USB-A to SATA. So my test bench has just a SATA SSD on it, where I have my suite of games I use. I can just pop that in any computer using USB. Good little adapter I have. Goes with my color theme, red and black. So I'm gonna start a pile for the trash over here. But yeah, these and Wi-Fi adapters and Bluetooth, I like to keep a par of like 5. So if I use a couple, I order a couple. Those particular ones are a different one than what I normally use. Without trying to take too terribly long, I'll show you all the one I normally use. In hindsight, I probably should have ordered one of those and tried it out before I just ordered 5 of them, but they were like 5 or 6 bucks a piece, so not that big of a deal. But the one I normally use is quite a bit taller, as opposed to this one that's a little shorter and fatter. So it kind of sticks out on the build. Not that much, but I don't know. It is more ideal to have these shorter ones if they work the same. I think Sensation, if you guys ever watch his videos, I think he was having some problems with whichever one he ordered, so not all created equally, I guess. I don't know, like I said, probably should have ordered one and tried it out before I just ordered 5 of them all willy-nilly like. These are cable extensions, and if it's the ones I think they are, I plan on using them in a wood grain and black build. They're like a kind of a Noctua brown and white and black, so they'll look really nice. Even the combs are brown. These will look really nice in wood grain build like that one. I don't know yet if I want to put these in that one. Originally I ordered them for that build in particular, but I'm kind of at my end with how much more money I want to put in that build. It's starting to get a little pricey. I think I'm going to list it for 700 bucks. I have about 6. Take that back. I have $440 in it, and I was hoping to list it for 7 with some wiggle room. If I get 6, I'll be happy. It is ITX. ITX usually has a little heftier price tag. These are kind of like what I was talking about having like a little mini micro center set up, where I have a drawer over here with just all my cable extensions, which I'm going to go ahead and put that in there now to keep my pile from getting too crazy. But yeah, I mean, they're also like pretty cheap, 20 bucks, you know. this is not the way to do it. I mean, this is my business model. Everybody's going to be different flexibilities and lifestyles, and I work 60 hours a week, so this is a hobby as well as a business model for me. Like, one day I hope it does turn into a big money making thing, and maybe even the content where I can quit butchering and retire early. That would be awesome, because I've been butchering for about 20 years, not about, exactly 20 years as of September 2025. And it would be nice. I'm honestly getting kind of burnt out, guys. So if I could do this, I mean, this is where my passion's at now. People have kind of ruined the butchering industry for me. But that's another subject for another video. This is one of those fancy dancy decibel meters. Excuse me. And then I just hit the mic and probably made that even louder because I think my ring hit it. Sorry about that. The decibel meter is going to help me in particular because I'm deaf in one ear and can't hear that great out of the other. So instead of just having my wife gauge if a computer's loud or not, I can actually get a solid reading as if I'm a real tech tuber. And this stuff has just been piling up over the course of about 2 weeks. A lot of it is just small items. I think I paid $23 after tax and everything for the decibel meter. So some of this stuff I would love to unbox and actually do a proper review on, but we might have to have an individual video for an item if you guys comment and say there's something in particular you want to look at, or I just make an independent video for the item if it's cool enough, or else this video is going to be like 3 hours long. It actually has a nice little case, and it's supposed to be red and black to match my whole, man, perfect. Beautiful. These things, I would have got one a lot sooner, but honestly, I didn't know they were so cheap. I just assumed they were going to be more expensive, but they only run like 20, 30 bucks. Same thing with the wattage reader that you plug into the wall. It'll tell you how many watts and volts something you plug into it is drawing. That thing was only like 20 bucks. I would have ordered both of those a lot sooner had I known that. But the last piece of the puzzle, because I'd say I pretty much have every tool for PC building that I really need. Honestly, all we really need is a screwdriver. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You got a tube of thermal paste and a screwdriver. That's all you really need to get started. But the smoke guns, where you can actually see exactly how the air is being sucked in and expelled from the case, that's my next PC building tool I'd like to have. But those things are expensive. I have looked into them. This is motherboard. Most of this stuff, you guys should really check out UFD Tech. They do like a tech news daily. Just drew up blank. It's UFD Tech, I'm pretty sure is the name of the channel. But they do like deals of the day. Like every episode, there'll be like 3 hot items that, you know, they find deals on. It's a little segment they do. And there's usually some pretty good deals. I mean, a lot of the times I end up ordering 1 out of the 3 items because it's such a good deal. Like this motherboard was on there for 50 bucks, I believe it was. I'm not going to have all this stuff listed in the description either. Again, I work 60 hours a week, so if you guys are wondering why the videos aren't consistent, that would be one. Holy smokes. Our tower almost fell there. But yeah, this is really, usually for the price difference, I never buy A model motherboards just because it's just not worth it. You're better off spending 10 or 20 more bucks to get you know, the better feature set of at least a B is usually as low as I go, but this one had to have been cheap enough to where, or it could have been a combo deal too. I've actually got a really good combo deal coming up here. But yeah, I'm not gonna open that because I mean it's an A motherboard, not that much to look at or be that thrilled about. But it'll be great for a little budget flip. AM4. Once we run through all the RAM I have stockpiled, I have no idea what we're gonna do except just hope the RAM crisis is over by that point, or else we might have to start just finding stuff we can salvage RAM from. This is gonna be for that white and orange build. It's an 850 watt PSU. To get a decent PSU, like of a reputable brand, and I need at least 850 watts because I'm putting a 9070 XT in it, the Steel Legend edition, ASRock. The cheapest I could find was like 70 bucks. Now, if you want to go non-modular and Rose Wheel or what's that other brand, you can find them for as low as like 65 and it still be like a good rating. But I had to have white, so that set me back immediately. And Sama or Sama, however you pronounce it, I've used their power supplies. I got 2 or 3 of them on Black Friday deal for really cheap in 2024. I wish I would have bought more. I think I paid 50 bucks for them, and they were 750 or 850 watts, fully modular. Wish I would have bought more at the time, but I was not familiar with them yet. This is just more Thermalright fans. Fans are same thing, they're cheap. Like, they have all kinds of brands that do their version of Infinity fans now. You can find for $5 a fan or something. So I like to keep a nice stockpile of fans where I can just walk over to the shelf and pick out a certain style or color and never really have to be stuck waiting a day or two for a delivery for some item I need. Oh, this is also going to be for the white and orange build. This was stupid expensive, but sorry about that. Bubble wrap, couldn't help it. Yeah, this was stupid expensive, but the reason I wanted to go with that Steel Legend is the fans on the underside of the GPU actually light up fully, and I want to change them to orange and have it vertical to really tie into the color. It is going to be white, orange, and gray because Steel Legend has gray in it, and I went with the Fantex Evolve case, Matrix Evolve X2. Look that up. That is an awesome case. It's got the LEDs scrolling across kind of like a marquee, and it has like a gray fabric, so the LEDs, you can't even see them. It's just kind of under the fabric. But that is going to be a really, really nice build. And this has RGB in it as well. It's a GPU bracket to mount your GPU vertical. I don't know if I've mentioned that throughout the last minute and a half of rambling, but that's what it is. And it was like 90 bucks. I have never spent that much on a GPU bracket, so that shows you how nice it is / imperative it was for me to mount the GPU vertical. And I'm really worried about this build because the case that I'm building in is very slender. It's tall, but like narrow, so it's going to be an interesting build. But I'd also have never built an ITX PC until that one, and it actually has a dual chamber, so it really was a breeze to build in. It, like, all the nightmare stories of ITX being so hard to build in, I'm sure they are in other cases, but I was selective of which one I started on and looked into it, did my research and due diligence, and John's Bow makes some really cool ITX cases that are still fun to build in and not like painful. And they have that new NZXT one that I'm pretty sure it's the H2. I did it again. I can't help it. I see bubble wrap. I've got to pop a couple of them. Yeah, the H2 NZXT ITX. It's the same as the Evolve I was just talking about. It's tall, but still an ITX. It's slender. And I think that was their whole goal, was to make it ITX, but still not intimidating for newer builders to build in. Or not even newer builders, just some builders like me have built several computers, but just never attempted ITX. So, let's see here. I have no idea what this is. And I've already moved this over here. Put that right there. A box inside a box inside another box. I think this might be my wife's salt and pepper shakers. She's got some thing with mushrooms right now. Not the magic mushrooms. More of a decorative. Yeah. I know that's exciting, right? Our whole kitchen is red and white mushrooms, which I'm actually cool with because it reminds me of Mario. But I'm pretty sure that's not the vibe she's going with. Or going for. So we'll set that aside for her. She'll be excited to know her mushroom salt and pepper shakers are here. You really can't tell I've been a butcher for 20 years by the way I'm so careless with that blade. Probably should lighten up so I don't cut any of the products I'm opening. This is more fans, and if it's the one I think it is, it is. They remind me of a kaleidoscope. I've never seen anybody build with them, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I don't know, there's probably a reason why. They're probably super ghetto and finicky, but they have several different shapes or orientations or whatever. They take on shapes, and it's like a kaleidoscope. Like, I think there's 8 or 10 different styles or whatever you want to call that. But very unique. So, I mean, it was $30 for a 3-pack. A little bit pricey, but a little extra to get something as unique as that, I think is worth it. And it actually came with a little hub too, so that adds a little value. Because hubs cost about $10-15 or more, depending on what brand. It's like Christmas. All right. This is streamer cables. Never used this brand or even seen it. It is ASOR, AOSOR. I don't know, it was cheap. This one I think is just for the GPU. But I think I paid like $12 for that one. And then this one I have used before. I've used a lot of Asia Horse stuff. They make good stuff for decent prices. So that one's actually a 24 pin, I believe. Could even be a combo, the 24 pin and the 8 pin. But yeah, again, man, it's just a really good feeling when I wake up in the morning on my day off and be like, I'm ready to build a computer. And I can just walk over to the shelf and pick out a bunch of parts. Kind of like the fancy legit tech tubers that have all the sponsors and brand deals. Except I'm poor because I actually bought all this stuff. So this video is sponsored by Stray Dog. And Axel's hip and joint supplements, $50 a month. He's getting old, guys, so we might need to start a Patreon just for Axel. Okay, this is the new can opener, I think. Oh yes, very exciting. Electric can opener. I'll be doing a full review on this independently because it's just too cool not to have its own video. I'm joking. But the wife will be excited. Set that aside with her salt and pepper shakers. Alright, we're getting there. 30 minutes in. And I'll have a video about this ITX build and my brother's PC. I think is the next video I have coming up. Man, I've actually figured out how to edit, guys. I'm using CapCut, which I've been editing using CapCut, but I just switched to the desktop version, and man, you can just do way more, as you would expect, on desktop than you can the mobile version. So might take me a little longer to get videos out at first, but I'm learning as I go. And this is hopefully not just filters. It's supposed to be a little air purifier. I already have a medium-sized one in the corner of the room over there, but man, Axel sheds a ton, and I don't know, he just clogs that thing up so quickly. And I kind of wanted one to put closer to my PC. And it was 25 bucks. This thing was on sale. I think it was regular like 40. And it just seemed like just the right size and look. But I'm telling you guys, if you don't have one already in like whatever room your PC is in, it is a good investment. I mean, for 25 bucks, just go ahead and when you buy it, buy a few extra filters, change the filter out. I don't know, that other one I have actually has a light that comes on to tell you when to change the filter. But the other one, you can clean the filter and put it back in, so you don't have to keep buying filters. But honestly, I just put a new filter in it. I bought a few extra whenever I got it. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't take up a lot of space. Stick it under your desk in the corner of the room somewhere. I'm telling you, your lungs and your PC will both thank you later. But I'll have to hook that up later. I just had to go ahead and open that because it was so light. And the picture made me think it might have just been the filters. Luckily, it was the full ensemble, so we're getting there, but we're getting to PC cases, and I'm going to let you guys know right now, this video is already too long. The PC cases are going to have an independent video, either reviewing the case itself or a full build in it. And I've got to get a storage room, man. I'm looking at ones that are right down the road. They're just too perfect that they're so close to me. And they cost like $40 a month. I'm definitely going to have to do that. I've been holding off solely because I really want to get... We have a storage building now, but everybody uses it. And my son just got a crotch rocket and keeps his crotch rocket in there. And I would rather like rent to own or just outright buy a storage building all to myself. This is a case I got on one of those UFD tech deals. I'm telling you, you guys need to check them out. Monday through Friday, I think they put a video out every day, and they always have 3 items. Guy named Reese does a little segment on there that it's just 2 or 3 really good tech deals. Like this case was $40. It comes with like 3, and this is a kicker too, 3 FRGB fans. I had to look that up. I have never seen FRGB. It's usually ARGB for addressable RGB. I think this is just a sugar-coated fancy way of saying you can't address the colors, because when I looked it up it said Fusion RGB, and I had my Meta glasses on, which also we're going to have a video coming up about them and a review on them. I'm loving them so far. Basically, you can't change the color. They're just put a different name on it to try to confuse new builders. But I actually get everything shipped to my work. So conveniently, whenever I do that, I have scales at work because it's a butcher shop. And this PC with the cardboard and everything, not full PC, just the case, weighed 8 pounds. So it is very cheaply made. It is not of high quality, but it will be perfect for a little budget build. I mean, this thing is so light. Like, I could probably pick it up with my pinky. I'm not gonna do that. It's tempered glass and all, but they had it in white, black, or black and white, and I've never really done the black and white. I always pick one or the other, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to do the zebra build. If you're not familiar, the zebra thing is a ZTT pun, but yeah, for I think it was $35 for that case, I'm pretty sure, which is nothing compared to the case I'm about to do the white and orange build in. That Fantex Evolve X2 Matrix case was $250, because for some reason, even though I have Prime, they charged me like $35 shipping and handling. And remember, we have the vertical GPU bracket added to the cost. That cost me like $100 because they charged me $10 for shipping on it too for some reason. I don't know why. So right out the gate, we have $350 in the case and the bracket, which before it's all said and done, my wife might actually just have to rock this build. She has a little laptop she like never uses, but just quick math off the top of the head, I've been tracking as I've been buying stuff for it. I'm gonna have about $1,700 in that build, and I'm gonna need to get at least $2,000 for it, because the motherboard alone is that I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head now. It's ASRock live mixer. They made an orange one and a purple one, and they only did it for like one socket generation for AM4 and LGA 1700, I think. I've been looking for that particular motherboard for almost 2 years now. She's had this little idea, and I, for the life of me, could not find the orange one. I could find the purple one pretty regularly, but I could never find the orange one. I take that back. I could find it, but every time I found it, they just wanted stupid amounts of money for it. So I finally found it on eBay and still ended up paying like almost $200 for this motherboard. But man, I really wanted that motherboard to be in the orange and white build. Like, I hate that they only made it for like one generation and then they went right back to just, you know, silver, black, you know, basic colors. Because I thought it was such a cool motherboard, and I didn't even know until I actually got it, but it was intended or targeted towards content creators, so it has like all this extra I/O. There's like 30 freaking ports in it, so that just makes it even cooler. I've got quite the cardboard stash building up over here. This is the highlight of the video. This is the bread and butter, the best thing that, matter of fact, I'm gonna set that aside, make you guys wait a little longer. I'm gonna open this box and then we'll go to that one. But that's the best thing out of this whole lot. This is another one of those fans, but I thought it was a different brand, but it looks like it's actually the same brand. This one had better reviews than this one did, because this one had like Molex or SATA incorporated in it, where this one didn't. It had your normal 4-pin and 3-pin. So that's why I got a 3-pack of these, and I just ordered one of these for 10 bucks just to check it out. Because again, I mean, it does all the kaleidoscope patterns and colors, and it's just unique, man. Like, kind of see it going more towards a girly build, but still, I don't know. It's the whole reason I do this is I like being able to play with new hardware and unique stuff that I normally would not buy for my own build or ever be able to have hands-on with. I have no idea what this is. That's the problem with ordering a ton of stuff at one time. Actually, I know exactly what this is. It's a 5-tier shelf, just like the one in that corner. So I'm not going to open that because that's very anticlimactic. Alright, so this build, or box here, contains the best stuff. Alright. So this was a UFD Tech deal as well, and for $529.99, which they don't sell the stuff directly, they just link you to whoever does, which in this case it was Newegg. And at the time, I think Newegg had their like 25th anniversary or something going, and you got an X870 Gaming X Wi-Fi 7 gigabyte motherboard of the AM5 variety, and the Ryzen 7 9850X 3D for $529.99. After tax and everything, I think I paid $570. Okay, this CPU goes for $500 anyway. Like, so you're telling me for an extra 30 bucks, I get the best motherboard I could possibly pair with it. I'm not, before anybody's lighting me up in the comments, I'm not saying this particular motherboard is the best. I mean this variant of motherboard, the X870. It's not a B, it's not an A, like we talked about earlier. And just to sweeten the pot, Newegg added a free gift, which was a $70 value, a wireless Corsair mouse. And usually when I get stuff like this, like I've actually got a nice little pile collected and gathered. I like to keep stuff like this, and as a surprise deal, just to keep that 5-star rating. It's very important, guys. Do not, stuff comes back to you in this world. Not to mention, if you just want to do good business and continue doing this, be good to people and it'll come back to you. So, long story long, I keep stuff like this around, and when the mood strikes me on a deal, especially if it's like a kid that's starting out, or even just a, you know, new to PC person, I like to give them the option, you know, like bring 4 or 5 items and be like, I'm throwing in a free gift of your choice. And it's usually a mouse or a motherboard or a headset or, you know, nothing crazy fancy. But I mean, this is pretty fancy. It is a $70 mouse usually. And let them pick, you know, just to sweeten the pot, sweeten the deal. And then, you know, recommend that they give me a 5-star rating since I am such an upstanding guy. But that's a sweet freaking deal, man. $570, and I actually I have a 1200 watt Lee & Lee Edge PSU that we're swapping on the test bed. I'm still going to continue rocking my 12th gen i9. I'm not touching my setup because it works flawlessly. There's no reason to chase. You know, I'm not a frame chaser. I hardly even play games anymore unless I'm testing a PC. But my test bed, you know, will have the best of the best. So I'll actually have two test beds, one for Intel, one for AMD. One's a lower tier, just i3. And then on the AMD side, I'm going to have the best of the best. I don't know. Anybody got any recommendations on that? I'm always open to constructive criticism. Like I said, I haven't been doing this forever. I'm still learning new stuff every day. That's why I'm so into this, I think, is, man, you can never stop learning. You can wake up every day and learn something new about this field in general. I mean, it's just ever changing, and it's one of those things where you've got to grow with it or get left behind, which I like. This is one of the best cases you can get right now. I bought it actually a few weeks ago. This is what I have a build that's gonna be on the channel. It's not up yet, but I just built my brother's PC in this case. It's the ITX Flux M for micro ITX, but this is a solid case. I said Antex, it's Antec, sorry. It's like mesh all the way around. It does have a glass panel, but it comes with three non-RGB fans on the bottom, and then three RGB fans on the front for intake, and then for the exhaust you have one more RGB fan. So a total of 7 fans for 70 bucks, I think it was 70 or 75 bucks. Just a solid little case. I mean, the temps are crazy. Now, the space between the GPU and the fans is very minimal. I will say that. I did have trouble tucking his GPU cables in without, you know, either letting the fan from the GPU hit them or the case fans hitting them. So I did have a little trouble with that, but that can be worked around. It's a really solid case. His temps were excellent. Very easy to build in. I'm not going to unbox that though, because like I said, I'm going to have a full build on the channel utilizing that case. And then the Fantex case. Oh, it's a big boy. It is a chunky boy. It actually scared me because instead of the plastic that they normally put over the cases, they actually put like this like felt black bag over it. So it's supposed to be the white version of the case. So I saw that and was like, oh crap, I got the black version. I'm gonna have to send it back. I've never had to send anything big like that back to Amazon, so was not looking forward to that. But then I quickly realized it was just that bag, and the PC case itself is actually white. So anyway, guys, I know this video is like an hour long. We got all kinds of goodies. Before I clock out for the night, I'll show you guys this little ITX case. Man, I'm definitely doing more ITX stuff in the future. I've always been scared because of how little space you have, but John's Bow especially, I've never used any of their stuff, but I fell in love with this brand immediately. Like, this case was so easy to build in. I mean, it's just a little mini dual chamber case. You still have, I don't have very much cable length on the other side there, so I can't turn this around. That might be one of my next purchases, one of those little swivel tables. But it's still got a little dual chamber here, about the width of this wood grain here. And it is not like, you know, all these new, even the micro ATX cases have these little workarounds with the power cord has some pass through or whatever. It doesn't even do any of that. I mean, you have the actual power cord, or PSU, you know what I mean. Cute little Wi-Fi antennas came with it. That's actually what started this whole thing out, is I found a brand new ASRock motherboard for like 70 bucks. And ITX is usually sky high on all the parts, but that curved glass, that glass is all one piece. That part's really nice. There's like 100 different ways. I mean, all PCs are modular, but there's like 100 different ways and ideas I have in my head for this particular case and layout, and it was so hard just to choose one of them. I honestly want to build in this case again just so I can play around with other ideas I have for it. But yeah, it was really fun to build in. Getting a lot of glare, I know, sorry about that. But yeah, the fans, I've actually never built ITX once again, and I've never dealt with 80 or 92 millimeter fans, so that was a unique experience. Apparently I need to keep more of that stuff in stock. But it's got a 1660 Super EVGA that is still, EVGA, please come back, please. Getting like 200 frames in heaven right now. Like 73 degrees all day long. This thing's been on for hours stress testing, and I mean, it's just a solid little build, but it's not gonna, you know, get a million frames because it's just a little Ryzen 3 4100, I believe. I got it brand new for like 40 bucks. The motherboard is nothing to write home about, but still a nice motherboard. It's a B550 and comes with Wi-Fi and the little antennas. Good little motherboard. Has an M.2 slot. Actually has a 1 terabyte M.2 and 16 gigs of DDR4. And that DDR4 is like 2400. Like, it's Corsair Vengeance, but I don't know how vengeful it is at 2400 mega transfers. Like, but it's a low spec build, you know, but you can still play any game on it and get some really good performance out of it. I mean, it'd be a great entry-level PC. Doesn't take up a ton of room. I love how they're doing the wood grain stuff. I have taken way too long for this video. I will say I had to use the stock AMD CPU cooler just because, man, I've got like 20 of them. And one more thing I wanted to address on this, and I don't remember what it was. I'm sure I'll remember as soon as I stop recording. But yeah, anyway, that's the bit. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the little feet are, you can move them, which I'm actually gonna do whenever I get done with this video. I plan on putting this thing back together and listening to it, but you can move the feet here and turn it the other way where this is the bottom, and it'll be like this, which to me looks like a little record player. I don't know. It's just a cool little case. I don't know if it's just something different, the change of pace that has me so infatuated with it or what, but I've had a blast playing around with this little case and PC build. Anyway, I've taken way too long. I am out of here. Peace.